Hi, I'm Destiny from FateofDestinee, and I'm here today at McMiller's Sports Center, and it is a beautiful day, and I have Austin from In Extremis Consulting. He's going to teach me a couple of tips today. So what are we going to focus on?
What we were going to cover was setting up a shot with a precision rifle, and basically that includes zeroing parallax, getting natural point of aim, getting good body position, achieving respiratory pause, and a good trigger squeeze.
And I've never done any precision rifle shooting, so this is some wonderful information for me, and I hope it's helpful for you too. But without further ado, let's introduce this gorgeous rifle.
It's an APA rifle built by Jared Joplin, one of the best rifle builders in the US. And it is a .308 caliber rifle in a Kinetic Research Group Gen 1 Whiskey 3 chassis, and that's a side folding chassis. It's got a 5 to 25 power Schmidt & Bender 56mm objective optic, and it's mounted one of our Arista muzzle brakes for our Arista sound suppressor. So we want to address the rifle, and I imagine this like a game of golf. We want to tee up on the rifle like it's a golf ball, and basically you establish your good gunfighter stance, put your feet slightly more than shoulder width apart, and with your rifle aiming towards the target, you align your body position where your shoulder is going to hit the butt plate, and then come down on the rifle. And what this helps you do is establish a good body position. And what you want is for your body to be generally in line with the gun, and that helps you with follow through in case you need to make a second shot. And so once we're down on the gun, we've got our rear bag, we've got our bipod loaded. What we want to do is we want to just rough focus the scope. And I'll take this scope out of focus, and then Destiny can begin focusing the scope. But basically, what we're doing here is we're putting the reticle and the target in the same focal plane. And what that allows us to do is, there's an eye box in the scope, there's scope shadow when we're outside of it. But as you dance from one side to the other, when it's not focused and your reticle and target aren't in the same focal plane, what you'll see is that the reticle moves in relation to the target. And what that's going to contribute to is aiming error. And so the first step is just visually focusing the optic on the target. And what we'll end up doing is, by the time we've zeroed parallax, we'll actually establish the same focal plane, so our reticle will not move when
There we go.
regardless of where we are in the eye box. And what that'll mean is that if we're slightly out of center with the optic, we'll have still precision shot placement. And so now that you're in a better place, go ahead and with her body out of contact with the rifle, she'll, using a reference point on the target, move her head from one side of shadow to the other side of shadow on the scope. And when the reticle's not moving, which it probably isn't moving right now, she knows that she's now zeroed her parallax. How does that look?
That looks pretty darn close there.
That's probably zeroed right there.
Yeah.
And basically, this being a Schmidt & Bender, it's almost like a rangefinder, so the parallax knob is very close to the inscribed numbers, but you'll find that's not the rule for scopes on the market. So anything other than Schmidt & Bender, you're gonna find it to be a lot more mechanics involved with zeroing your parallax. But this scope is a little bit easier because it's basically like the Rolls-Royce of precision optics. But now that we've gotten our parallax focus, our next step is to go ahead and achieve natural point of aim. And what she's going to do is, by loading her bipod, going ahead and achieving natural respiratory pause, in reference to an aiming point on the target, she's going to close her eyes, open them, and if her reticle remains centered on where she wants to break that shot, when she reopens her eyes after like a half-second pause, she'll know that she's achieved natural point of aim. And natural point of aim is just going to help you because when you break the shot, your rifle is going to have a tendency to move towards natural point of aim. And so, just like a pistol, in that lock time, you can lose some of your intended point of aim, point of impact. So how is that looking? Have you done that?
Yep, I think I found it.
Okay, so now that she's found it, we're going to actually let her, she'll take a breath when she's calm, exhale, and in reference to the target, she'll squeeze the trigger using that rear bag and using good fundamentals of marksmanship with that trigger squeeze.
Okay, I have a round in the chamber and I'm getting ready to go hot. Oh, I'm a little bit low, or a little bit to the left of where I was aiming.
Go ahead and using the same point of aim and continue to shoot at respiratory pause, just continue and shoot the other 2 rounds in this 3-shot group. They're in the magazine.
Oh,
That might be on just a little bit of a rough sight for it.
so I'm getting my point of aim back again. Ready? There we go.
So for a recap, that's basically the task. She has zeroed her parallax. She's teed up on the rifle. Using a rear bag, she has also achieved natural point of aim. And then using good marksmanship fundamentals at respiratory pause, she's squeezed the trigger and just repeated the same thing as consistently as possible for 3 rounds.
We just recorded 3 shots with this precision rifle unsuppressed. Now we have a suppressor on there, one of the Griffin armament suppressors, and we're going to see how it shifts the point of impact. I'm going to use the same techniques we just went over with Austin. Starting with getting my body in the right position. Put some forward pressure on that bipod. And let's see, where's my... It takes me a second to get used to this with shooting with my non-dominant eye. I have to just straight up close it. Hey, there we go. Okay. Now I'm going to find my natural point of aim. By closing my eyes. Okay. And move the chamber around. There we go.
Make sure you're level that.
Yeah. Okay. Last shot.
Hey Evan, wait up, wait up. I want to try something a little less conventional. It's a little more difficult here. And this is, we're going to shoot a subsonic. And go ahead and see down there. And you see the large hash marks on the scope underneath the reticle?
Yeah.
They're divided by, after the first one, they're divided by half mil marks.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Go ahead and come 4 of those large hash marks down below the reticle.
Okay.
And come back halfway between the small hash mark and that hash mark for about a 3.7 mil. You know, we're rounding here.
Okay.
So about 3.7 mil holdover, and shoot center head on this thing.
Center of the head.
So come to your 4th underneath the reticle, wide mil subtension on the reticle, and then cheat back halfway to that next smaller aiming point, which is a half mil. And so right between the 3.5 and 4, center of the head, and squeeze off. And let's see if you can hit that with a subsonic round.
Okay.
And this is basically the difference between point of impact with supersonic and subsonic rounds.
All right. Just making sure. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're ready.
Squeeze off.
Wow.
And we'll have to see. Do you know it?
It looks pretty dang close to the center. It's a little higher.
Beautiful.
It's, as far as left to right goes, it's in the center.
All right.
Wow, that is fun in a completely different way of like shooting like full auto. That precision, I really feel like I get into that bubble of focus and I completely like don't even notice the rest of the world around me, and it's a new experience for shooting for me and I like it a lot.